Well, at last, Jon Jones has retired from the sport of MMA after 839 days of being the UFC heavyweight champion. It was announced by Dana White at the UFC press conference this past weekend.
Heavyweight division, take the title away from him.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
And throughout this entire process on if Jon Jones is going to be fighting Tom Aspinall or if he's not going to be fighting Tom Aspinall, he has been as annoying as those people that post an entire concert on their Snapchat stories. He's been as annoying as those guys that try to sell you that shoe cleaning product in the mall. And I guarantee you during that heated exchange or somewhat heated exchange that Tom had with Jon at Fanatics Fest, Jon felt Tom's pressure, or at least the size of his hand on his left shoulder, the pec that he tore, might I add, and he was like, yeah, I don't want no smoke with this young bloke. Bloke's going broke trying to defend this man, and yet people think he's ducking him, and those narratives are now considered true, especially with this retirement. It's absolutely insane. I thought that this was handled poorly by the UFC, because at the end of the day, it was all Tom's prediction that he would retire Jon without ever fighting him.
And he'll continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him.
And of course, everybody had a take on this entire mess that unfolded this past weekend. One person laid out Jon's entire career by saying, failed drug test, arrested a bunch of times, ducked Tom and Ngannou. Most failed drug test, uses his wife as a sparring partner, ducked Francis and Aspinall, wasted a year of Tom's prime instead of vacating, cult-like following. Another person said he ended his career in the worst possible way, which I agree, but then of course it was only a matter of time before Jones responded, which he did by saying a long statement, "Today I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. This decision comes after a lot of reflection, and I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the journey I've experienced over the years. From the first time I stepped into the octagon, my goal was to push the boundaries of what was possible in this sport, becoming the youngest UFC champion in history, defending my title against some of the best fighters in the world, and sharing unforgettable moments with fans across the globe. These are memories I'll cherish forever. I faced incredible highs and some tough lows, but every challenge has taught me something valuable and made me stronger, both as a fighter and as a person. I want to thank the UFC, Dana, Hunter, Lorenzo, God, my family, coaches, teammates, and all the fans who have stood by me through every chapter. Your unwavering support and belief in me has been my foundation. To my fellow fighters, thank you for bringing out the best in me and for the respect we've shared inside and outside the cage. As I close this chapter of my life, I look forward to new opportunities and challenges ahead. MMA will always be a part of who I am, and I'm excited to see how I can continue to contribute to the sport and inspire others in new ways. Thank you all for being a part of this incredible journey with me. The best is yet to come." Not the greatest of all time button, which got 2,759 likes on IG. Jones was afraid of Ngannou and Tom all along. We all knew it, but Dana let him embarrass the company for 5 years. And yes, I'll get to that in just a second. But oh wait, it gets worse. Literally like 27 minutes after Jones announced his retirement, it was announced that he was hit with new criminal charges, a misdemeanor charge leaving the scene of an accident in February. Police investigating a crash came across a woman in the front passenger seat of one of the cars, exhibiting signs of significant intoxication and lacking clothing from the waist down. I take it that person wasn't his wife. The woman reportedly said Jones was the driver but fled the scene on foot. Allusions to violence were made. I'm sure Dana is sick and tired of answering anything involved with Jon Jones, and so many people are speculating on whether or not this is the reason why Jon retired. However, this is what Dana had to say that just made things even more interesting.
Did you know about the stuff that came out of Albuquerque last night?
I saw it today. When I saw it today, I said, oh, everybody's going to think this is why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. Who the hell knows, man? But, yeah, I don't know. These are all questions you got to ask him. We had the fight done. You saw me talking about it very confidently that this fight was going to happen, and then he changed his mind.
The fact that Jon was jerking the chain on every single thing, he agreed to the fight, then was like, nah, never mind, I'm good. is just so not GOAT-like, and this will forever stain his legacy because he had one more challenge and he ran away from it. He was supposed to fight Ngannou too. He ran away from that. He was literally like that girl you want to take out on a date and was like, yeah, I'll go out with you, but then 2 days before you're supposed to go out, she's like, never mind, I'm good. Just absolutely piss poor on his part. But here's where Tom is absolutely fucked. He was crowned the undisputed heavyweight champion, but like I've said time and time again, what is going to happen in the UFC's heavyweight division, because there's nobody else for him to fight? I've mentioned it time and time before. Are there contenders for Tom to fight? Absolutely. But I've been banging this drum for the past 6 months that there's no one remotely interesting for Tom to fight. 3 of the contenders he's already beaten: Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, and Curtis Blades. Are you going to do a trilogy with Curtis Blades, especially because the first fight ended in 15 seconds off of a freak injury? Come on, miss me with that. Each and every single title defense that Tom is going to have is going to do at least 5,000 pay-per-view buys. That man can't draw money on a white piece of paper with a green crayon. I know he's a great fighter. All the hardcores will tune in to watch him, but how many hardcores are there? 5,000, 10,000? I will tune in to watch him, but nonetheless, he won't have the casual views that he would have gotten a Jon Jones or a Francis Ngannou. He's in a horrible spot, and I feel so bad for him because, yeah, he's fighting in a weak division against contenders that nobody cares about. And back to Jon Jones, since this video was about him, this all could have been handled the night he beat Stipe on November 16th. I mentioned in my last video about him that he does not have an honest bone in his body. Had he just said, I'm hanging up my gloves, I wanted to fight Stipe, and Stipe only after defeating Cyril Gane, that's it. The rest of the division can move on. Tom would have been crowned the undisputed champion that very night, and Tom could have defended his title 2 to 3 times rather than losing prime fights, rather than losing prime months, rather than losing prime years of his career. He just dragged everything along so bad, and the company was just like, yeah, we'll give him time. Yeah, we'll give him time. It's happening. It's going to happen for sure. When I think they knew all along, they weren't. And yes, I will forever go with the notion that he was scared of him because the UFC met his financial demands. What makes you think he's going to come out of retirement for more money when the UFC was already going to give him that money he wanted? He is scared. He was scared. If Tom loses, he's not coming back. And if Tom decides to vacate himself because he defended the title 15 times, okay, well then again, that might be the reason why Tom and Jon will fight down the road, because Tom will keep knocking off all the contenders, and that could get Jon out of bed because now everyone will be calling Tom the greatest heavyweight of all time. He'll pass Stipe's record, which I predict, and people will forget about Jon Jones being the heavyweight champion. That's one way this fight can still happen. But as far as we know, he was scared. And I will forever go to my grave thinking he was scared to fight Tom Aspinall.